So this weekend there's two major releases. The Princess Ice Spice releases her deluxe version of her EP Like, and Travis Scott joins The Weeknd and Bad Bunny for his latest single, K-Pop. It's time for Sounds and Breakdown. So the Princess Ice Spice is back with Like the Deluxe. Earlier this year in January, she dropped her highly anticipated EP Like, and months later, actually today, she dropped the deluxe of that. She added 3 more songs and 1 bonus. And I was just trying to see, like, I was thinking about, like, what is this deluxe is gonna give different from her original EP? Because, you know, I gave her a bit of a critique on her latest single with Nicki Minaj, the Barbie World single. You know, I felt like her cadence was kind of monotonous and kind of the same. So in my mind, I was like, okay, what different will Ice Spice deliver that she hasn't already gave us? So I was really, really looking forward to listening to this project to see, okay, what can we expect? Because again, this is just an EP. She hasn't even released her album yet. Okay, so Ice starts off the EP with How High. And clearly she listened to my last episode because I mentioned, you know, her flow being monotonous, and How High is totally opposite from all the other songs on the EP. The EP, you know, is filled with kind of that drill beat, and she, you know, Ice has that cadence that she kind of sticks with. But How High is kind of like a pop R&B joint, and it's a little softer vibe. And she talks basically about a previous relationship that kind of went left. And she's kind of getting her R&B bag. I was like, okay, this is totally different from what she's done. And in my mind, I was like, okay, is this the direction she's gonna go for her album? Is she giving us a bit of a taste of what's to come? Maybe, maybe not. However, shortly after that, we get into Butterfly Cool, and it's back to the regular drill beat, same cadence, flow, melody-wise for the verses. I was like, okay. Then it goes into the third new song off the deluxe EP, Deli, which is my favorite one. It has a kind of a drill mixed house beat, and she kind of popping her shit. She's saying, hey, it takes 300,000 to even book me for a show. She's stating that she's taking chick spots. She's saying, hey, if you ain't cooking in the studio with new music, get off the pot. She's talking her shit, and I love it. And that, with the combination of the drill house beat, I really like that song. I think Deli should be her next single from the deluxe, and it should follow with How High, because if she's looking to go into that pop R&B vibe lane, I think that How High should be her last single off the deluxe, and then take a little bit of a break and then dive into her first album with that R&B pop vibe for something fresh. So again, I like the deluxe, but I think the whole purpose of the deluxe was to showcase How High, because I felt like she's gonna have a few of those R&B pop elements on her first album. So Travis Scott teams up with Bad Bunny and The Weeknd for his latest single, K-Pop, and there's already been a little bit of controversial comments about it because people feel like Bad Bunny shouldn't have been on the record. But it makes sense. Like Bad Bunny, he brings a different flair with his Latin melody and vibe. He has more global mass appeal. So from a sales and streaming standpoint, it just makes sense. So I get it. But sonically and from a music standpoint, I get it. I hear Travis and The Weeknd. This was definitely a combination for them too. And I think probably Bad Bunny was added after. And to take it a little bit further, this sonically sounds like a Weeknd song. I think The Weeknd could have pulled this off by himself, just to be honest. But yeah, the Travis Scott and The Weeknd vibe, I think would have meshed the best sonically as a song. The song starts off with Travis Scott with his rap singing melodic tone, vibe, melody, and then comes in Bad Bunny with his Latin cadence melody. It changes the melody on the Bad Bunny part, and then it comes in at the end with The Weeknd with the most melodic part of the song, and he basically states the meaning of the K-pop. K is a drug, or what have you. And that's kind of the overall tone and message of the song. You know, The Weeknd and Fair Weeknd fashion, he starts off, mix the drugs with the pain. He let you know off the bat he's talking about drugs. If nothing else, the Weeknd's gonna talk about drugs. So overall, I like the song. It's a vibe. It's something people will listen to when they're at dance clubs or rave clubs or just kind of zoning off to drugs, in my opinion. It's definitely a vibe. It definitely has that dark undertone, Weeknd vibe mixed with Travis Scott. And with that added flair with Bad Bunny, I think it's going to be a major success.